Welcome back to the Ed Smith Stadium in beautiful Sarasota, Florida, and it doesn't get any better than this. An absolute perfect night for baseball, and it will be the Pirates, led by Jim Leyland, against the White Sox in our first televised game on Sports Channel. The White Sox are led by Ozzie Guillen onto the field. Sox now 13-9 on the spring training season, and they are hitting the ball hard. Let's take a look at the Pirate lineup given by the Humperdinck. Jim Leyland. Al Martin, counted on to play on an everyday basis, will be in center field leading off. Veteran shortstop Jay Bell will hit second. Orlando Merced is in right field in the third spot. Cleanup man tonight, third baseman Jeff King. Dave Clark is the left fielder in the fifth spot. He'll be followed by the DH Lloyd McClendon. Tom Foley, a veteran, he'll play second base in the seventh position. Kevin Young, another rookie, will play first base. He'll bat eighth, and bringing up the rear behind the plate, Tom Prince. Pitching tonight for the White Sox, Sox fans get a chance to see Dave Stieb for the first time. Dave making his fifth start of the spring. He's 0-1 with a .386 earned run average. Dave has worked 14 innings, hit total down at 10, walks up a little bit high at 7, and he has struck out 3. Opponents are batting just .200, though, against Dave Stieb in 1993. Defensively, the White Sox will line up with Bull Jackson in left field. Lance Johnson plays center. Ellis Burks is the right fielder. Robin Ventura at his customary third base position. Ozzie Guillen returns the shortstop. Steve Sachs at second. And the big hurt, Frank Thomas, is at first. Battery tonight of Carlton Fisk making his spring debut. He's behind the plate. And Dave Stieb, his pitchers. The umpires tonight, John Hirschbeck works home plate. Matt Winans is at third base, and Rich Riker is at first. Conditions, as we mentioned, absolutely perfect for baseball. 72 degrees at game time. Wind is calm, as you can see the flag at half-mast this evening. And a perfect night for baseball. And Dave Stieb, as we mentioned, improving with his velocity, 86 miles an hour in his last start. And we asked him earlier today just how Dave Stieb's breaking stuff was progressing.
The first 3 outings, no breaking balls. Never even spun one. Then his 4th outing, he threw some curveballs, threw about 6. 3 of them was good, 3 of them was not. The last outing, he broke his slider out. He threw about 12 curveballs. About 7 of them was good curveballs. The slider was about 50-50. The good thing, though, is that, he's come up with a changeup that he's gotten a couple outs each outing with. So it's going to be a big difference in his pitch selection when he does start, using them all.
Some encouraging words from the pitching coach, Jackie Brown, as you look at Dave Stieb. We are ready to go, and for the first time in 93, here is the Hawkaroo.
All right, Wimpy, thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone. And boy, are we so happy to be back with you on Sports Channel right here from Sarasota. Al Martin will lead it off. Al hitting .279 on the spring, 25-year-old youngster. Last year at Buffalo, hit .305, 20 homers, and 59 runs knocked in. And indeed, it is a perfect evening for baseball. 340 down each line here at Ed Smith Stadium. 375 in the gaps. As there's Ozzie. He sucks it up, and he throws him out. Ozzie is looking good. Wimpy, if you didn't know it, you would not even think there was anything in the world wrong with Ozzie Guillen's knee last year.
You're absolutely right, Hawk. This is our second game that we've done in the spring, and he looks absolutely perfect. You see the knee brace on his right knee, and that's just about it. There's it. He runs just as well, it appears, as he did before he hurt it.
Here's the shortstop, Jay Bell. Takes a strike from Steve. Bell on the spring hitting at .209, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 6. That's what he did last year with the Buccos, and he drove in some big runs. Pirates last year, 96 and 66. 30 games over. That's high in the left center field. Wind blowing out a little bit, but Lance is there now. Bo, it looked like was trying to call him off, and Lance said, I
think I'll take my chances with Lance. Now you see that good movement. The pitch was up a bit, but it did have late movement from Steve, and that's a good sign. And then you see Lance. He still doesn't want to run into Bo.
No.
Gingerly caught that one.
Here's the right fielder, Orlando Merced. Last year, a .247 hitter, 6 homers. He knocked in 60. In the spring, hitting at .261 with no homers and 8 RBIs. Now Outfield for the most part straight up. There's a strike. Maybe no talking about Steve. You think back to when he was real tough with the Toronto Ball Club. Velocity-wise was not that overpowering. It was the movement. As we see the changeup right there. Sachs to Hopper, throws him out. 1-2-3 for Steve. Nothing across. After half inning of play, it's the Pirates nothing, and the Sox coming to bat.
1-2-3, top half the first inning, and here's the way the White Sox will line up, with manager Gene Lamont giving us this lineup. Steve Sachs leads off at second base. Lance Johnson is in center field in the second spot. The big hurt, Frank Thomas, hits third, plays first. Cleanup man DH Danny Pasqua. Robin Ventura at third base hits fifth, followed by right fielder Ellis Burks. Bo Jackson is the left fielder in the seventh spot. Carlton Fisk behind the plate hits eighth, and bringing up the rear at shortstop, Ozzie Guillen. And a look at the starting pitcher for the Buccos, Paul Wagner. In 6 games this spring, outstanding so far, 1-0 with a 1.29 earned run average. He was successful at Pittsburgh last year. Here you see his numbers, given up 7 hits in 7 innings, just 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. He's got good control. Fastball, slider, forkball, and changeup is what he features.
Steve Sachs leads it off for the Sox, takes a strike. Steve hitting at .319 on the spring, no homers. He's knocked in 4. Now Field straight up there short. There's a strike. Wagner, as Wempy mentioned, very impressive with the Pirates last year. 2-0 with an 0.69 ERA after being called up at the end of the season. Took him 3, and Sachs is gone. All right, before we show you ours, you at home take your picks to click tonight. But it doesn't do any good if you don't get paid. They're ours.
There they are.
Whipperoo's going to take Ellis Burks. Jim Angio, our producer director, going to take Bo, and I'll go with Dave Steve. Lance Johnson, first ball hunting to Hopper. Second baseman Tom Foley, veteran, throws him out, 2 gone.
Well, I really wanted Steve to have a good outing tonight, so you taking him has got to be just the perfect thing for him.
Wimpy, 22 dozen, still yet to be received.
Tell you what, I'd rather have
92.
I'd rather have your luck than a license to steal. you will steal some golf balls.
Here's Big Frank, hitting .308 on the spring, a homer, 9 RBIs. Takes a strike. So both pitchers just coming right at these hitters.
Wow, what a concept. Throw strikes, you can get guys out,
Isn't that amazing? Throw strikes, a little something on it. Change a few speeds. Pitch just off the plate. And the count evens at 1. The big hurt last year, .323. 24 homers and 115 runs knocked in. As Danny Pasqua, the DH, the cleanup hitter tonight. Good breaking ball by Wagner.
Boy, this one has got some bodacious downward movement right there, making you think that could be that fork ball that we mentioned a minute ago.
Good hard curve. There's the 1-2 pitch ready. So both pitchers have an easy first inning, 1-2-3. After 1, no score. Top of the second inning, and a reminder, this copyright program is presented by the authority of Major League Baseball and the Chicago White Sox. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written permission of Major League Baseball, the Chicago White Sox, and Sports Channel is strictly prohibited.
Very good.
Jeff King will lead it off for the Buccos. It'll be King, Clark, and McClendon. If you just tuned in, joined us a little late, both pitchers a very easy 1-2-3 first inning. You see the numbers on King this spring. Last year hit .231, 14 homers, and knocked in 65. Takes it up high.
You know, here's a guy that has really got to improve on his numbers, Hawks, if the Pirate Ball Club is going to contend this year.
Well, you got to figure the Pirates are going to contend in that division. They've won 3 consecutive divisional titles under
Amazing.
Jimmy Leyland. And they have been counted out really in several of those seasons in preseason choice. Watch out. Got him right on the elbow.
Well, you know, Steve has got movement on his fastball, because he would hit a lot of guys in his prime or even now, too. That fastball just tails in on a right-handed hitter, and it's tough to get out of the way. Take a look.
The ball just runs in.
Oh, boy. Right on the top of that elbow. It looks like Jeff King's all right. That's good. Nowhere to run on this one. Nowhere to hide.
Left fielder, number 35.
Getting back to what you were saying, they won 96 ball games last year. They won that division easily by 9 games over Montreal. And of course, most people are counting them out. You really can't believe that they could win without Drabek, Lind, and of course the great Barry Bonds. But I think Jim Leyland's going to find a way to make those guys competitive all year long.
Here's the left fielder, Dave Clark. Clark on the spring hitting at 304, no homers, 2 RBIs. Last year at Buffalo, hit 304 with 11 homers, and he knocked in 55. You can never count Jimmy Leyland out. He has a facility and ability to bring the talent that he has at hand together, and the chemistry on his ball clubs is always among the best in baseball.
Oh, he was so much fun to be around when he was a third base coach for the White Sox in the 80s. Very knowledgeable, able to communicate. Not a real good player when he was out on the field himself, but you don't need to be. He really understands the game, and he understands the players.
That's the most important thing today.
Yeah.
Really, that is more important than understanding the game of baseball for a manager. It's amazing if you have a choice between 2 guys. One is an outstanding baseball mind and doesn't understand the players that well, versus a mediocre baseball mind and an outstanding understanding of human nature and players. That's a guy you got to go with.
Yeah.
2 balls, no strikes to Dave Clark. Pretty good lead by Jeff King at first. There's a strike on the outside corner. Well, the Pirates coming in this spring with a record of 10-9. The Sox on the other side of that ledger have been playing well lately. They are 13-9.
And nice to see Alex Fernandez had a great outing yesterday. Strong.
Very strong.
6 innings, just is it 1 hit and a run? Those are great numbers.
Threw the ball well.
Yeah. Alex expecting his first child now. His wife is anyway in Miami, so certainly our best to Mrs. Fernandez. And of course, Alex will be on his way to Miami as soon as he gets the word.
And of course, as everyone knows, a sad note in baseball, our condolences and best wishes to the families of Steve Olin and Tim Cruz in that tragic accident. He picked him off. He kept going over there. King had the big lead, and he'll grab some bench. That's embarrassing. Get drilled in the elbow and then have the guy pick you off.
Yeah, well, it looked like he may have been in motion. He took that initial step towards second base, and Steve very quickly. Steve's a good athlete. Got quick hands, quick feet, and he just throws it right to the spot. And Big Frank's able to apply that tag. Gotcha.
There's the change. Misses low in the count, 3-1.
You know, Hawk, getting back to what you just mentioned about that terrible tragedy involving the young guys from the Cleveland Indians, I don't think there was a guy that ever put on a uniform that didn't shed a tear in the last couple days when you think about a situation like that. It's just a brotherhood, and there you see the flag here at half-mast. There was a moment of silence for them also before the game.
Well, it is a fraternity, a brotherhood, as you mentioned, but I think that the first thing that really pops into most people's mind, here you got Steve Olin, a 3-year-old daughter and 6-month-old twins.
Right.
Tim Cruz leaves 3 children behind. Sachs backs up, takes it on the tough hop over to first. 2 gone. I've been by that lake, Wimpy, you know, and it just amazes me when you talk about that dock going out so far into that lake,
man.
and there's, you know, it's not against the law down here to have a dock going that far out in the lake without being lighted or having reflector lights on them. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Of course, on the other side of that page, anybody who has been on a boat knows that when it gets pitch black like that, you do not go fast because you can hit something very, very easily.
Yeah.
Lloyd McClendon out of Gary, Indiana steps in. Lloyd having a tough spring, hitting at just 174. 34-year-old veteran last year, 253 hitter, 3 homers, and 20 RBIs. 2-0 the count. Outfield playing him to pull. Dave Stieb, boy, I'll tell you, if he can maintain, he doesn't have to throw hard. I don't think in all the years that I've been around Major League Baseball I have ever seen a right-hander with more movement on his fastball than Dave Stieb.
Yeah.
Now, you've seen left-handers with more movement, but not a right-hander.
Ow. There's movement right there coming in on the hands of McClendon. Of all the guys that I think I've faced in the early 80s, Steve was the one I look forward to the least. Look at that late movement right there, just running in, and he can pitch upstairs with that fastball as well.
He was the most uncomfortable 0 for 4. Huh?
Because you know he might hit you in the elbow or in the wrist or something. You might swing at a pitch and the ball might hit you.
He wouldn't have got you in he might have got you in the fanny, but he wouldn't get you in the elbow. That's in the hole. Ozzie. Long peg in time, and that'll do it. 1-0 across for the Pirates, and after an inning and a half, no score. Right-hander Paul Wagner concluding his warm-up tosses here as we get set to go to the bottom of the second inning. No score. For the Sox, it'll be Pasqua, Ventura, and then the right fielder Ellis Burks.
Leading off for the White Sox in the bottom of the second inning, the designated hitter, number 44.
Wagner out of Milwaukee, 6'1", 185 pounds, just 25 years old. And here's Pasqua. Danny hitting at 241 on the spring. No homers. He's knocked in 1. Off the end of the bat into right center field. Al Martin makes the call, has the ball, and there's 1 gone.
Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 23, Robin Ventura.
And all of us here at Sports Channel would like to welcome our affiliate ATC and all their viewers in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois.
Champaign-Urbana, yes. All right.
First time all year. Here's Robin. Robin hitting at 326, a homer, 6 RBIs on the spring. Of course, last year, 16 homers and knocked in 93. Takes the strike and the count evens at 1. Boy, nice lights here at Ed Smith Stadium. You know, that's one of the reasons in the past that a lot of teams have absolutely just abstained and refused to play night baseball. The lights were just too bad.
Oh, sure. You couldn't play it at Payne Park.
No,
I mean,
no
that was
chance.
impossible.
No chance.
Oh, there's a lot of terrible lit fields. I remember the ballpark at West Palm Beach. They play night games there, and it's bad. It's real bad. But these are excellent. These are major league lights.
Packed house tonight here at Ed Smith Stadium. As there's ball 4, so the first Sox base runner.
Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 26, Ellis.
Here's Ellis Burks. Ellis hitting at 268, 2 homers. He's knocked in 11 this spring. Just 28 years old, as we've talked about already, in my opinion, could be the key to this. If he stays healthy, this man can play. And he looks good and feels good. Takes a fastball strike.
Very articulate young man, talking to him before the ball game. He's really excited about playing in Chicago this year, and that's great. Going to continue to play his same aggressive outfield style. You know, it may have contributed to some of his injuries, but he's certainly going to dive for everything that he can make a play on.
That fastball inside. Well, during the Sox Fest, we were talking to Sox fans about just why we felt Ellis Burks might be such a big addition to this ball club. And besides his defensive prowess, you get in the late innings of a ball game, you get those real hard throwers out there. He can turn a high fastball around. That's something that not a whole bunch of guys can do. 2 balls and a strike. Well, that youngster from Toronto, Derek Bell, really, though, reminds you so much of Ellis. I mean, facially, and then also the way he stands at the plate.
Yeah. Same size, too.
That's ripped foul.
Yeah, there's a high pitch right there. Ellis has always been a good high ball hitter. And you hang a breaking ball to him, keep it upstairs, or the high fastball. He can get to it, get his hands above the ball, and nail it. 5 years ago, you couldn't have touched Ellis Burks as far from a trade standpoint.
3 years ago, you couldn't.
Yeah, well, because everybody thought that he was going to be the superstar in the American League. Injuries have been a problem.
Lays off the breaking pitch. Nice pitch right there by Paul Wagner. That's a tough 2-2 pitch right here, Wimpy.
Oh, boy. It looks like that hard curveball that you said, Hawk, and that is nasty. He got Big Frank on it to end the first inning, and Burks just held up. So we got a 3-2 with 1 out coming up here. Is he going?
Yep. Strike him out and throw him out. And that'll do it for the Sox here in a second. After 2, nothing. The wives of the Sox here in attendance tonight on the right. There's a little hurt. Sterling Thomas, his wife Elise. Emily Odgers sitting beside Elise, and in the back, Stephanie Ventura with Rachel Dana. There's the big hurt. And Robin talking about Rachel today. Robin, I tell you, last year when they had Rachel, he was going to be the perfect dad. He would get up and take all the night feedings. It's hard enough to play this game without having to get up twice.
He did that?
Yeah.
How long did it last?
I think a day or 2.
Max. Stephanie didn't have to go up there and hit that fastball, did she?
No, I tell you, Stephanie's got Robin right where she wants, right underneath that thumb.
Yeah.
Tom Foley leads it off.
Well, no, I heard Robin gets the last word in all their arguments. Yes, dear.
That's right.
No.
Foley having a fine spring. 320. Last year had a tough season with Montreal, hitting just 174. 33-year-old veteran infielder out of Columbus, Georgia. Outfield swung around to the left. Robin even with the bag well off the line at third. Like a good breaking pitch right there from David. And the count evens at 1. That's the thing about Steve, as we were talking about last inning. You don't have to have the real good velocity. There's that slider.
Yeah.
When you have movement like he does, you can throw 84, 85 and still get by with it. In fact, sometimes, not so much with Steve, though. For the most part, sinker ball pitchers fall into a category of they throw too hard, it straightens out on them. Steve has never been in that ilk or that mold. He still had good movement when he threw hard.
Yeah. And the sinker doesn't straighten out. He still gets movement upstairs, too, which is very unusual. It may be on the same plane, but it's still boring in on the right-handed hitter or away from the lefty. It's very unusual in that sense.
Well, you said last inning he can get away with the mistake up here. There's a base hit in the left field, an off-speed pitch, so the first hit of the ball game. That's all movement does for you. It allows you to get away with mistakes.
He didn't get away with this mistake. Here's a breaking ball upstairs, about belt high, as you can see. Outer half of the plate, and Foley just goes with it nicely. Just flicks it in the left field for a base hit.
Here's the first baseman, Kevin Young. He's a young one, 23 years old, out of Kansas City. Last year at Buffalo, hit .314, 8 homers, and knocked in 65. Having a pretty good spring, 276. 6 ribbies. Outfield playing him to hook slightly. Takes it up high.
He's getting a chance to play. You see those 58 at-bats in spring training. They're counting on him to play on an everyday basis. And there you see the Young Bucks last year at AAA. Kevin Young, Rookie of the Year in the American Association. Carlos Garcia, 303. And Al Martin had a good year. He's got some speed at the top of that lineup, and they're going to need some of that.
Al Martin's also got some pop.
Yeah, 20 homers. Whew. Young reminds me of a young Bobby Bonilla. Facially, big guy.
Just a decent lead by Foley at first. There's a base hit right down the line. Tom Foley round second. As Kevin Young on his way to second base, he'll get there. So with nobody out, the Pirates have runners at second and third.
Well, right here, Young shows some bat speed on the fastball boring in on him. Actually didn't get it in there far enough. Leading with that front elbow, and he kept that ball fair, hit it hard. That ball was on the inner half of the plate. I'm sure Dave wanted it a little bit farther in. See Foley easily into third, and the Pirates have something going here. Runners at second and third, nobody out. With Tom Prince, his job, hit the ball the right side of the field, try to get that runner in from third and a runner from second over to third to help out the next hitter.
So Fisk, Ozzie, and Steve have a little confab, and here's Prince. Tom out of Kankakee, Illinois, having a tough spring. Last year at Buffalo, 262 hitter, 9 homers, and he knocked in 35.
Well, they've got a good catching combo here with Don Slaught and Mike LaValliere. So it's tough for anybody to break in with those two guys.
Takes it up high.
That's really one of the big strengths that the Pirates have coming into this season is in the catching department. A lot of teams can't really claim that. Slaught hit .345 last year for these guys.
Sluggo can swing the bat.
Yeah, he can.
He's just decent with a leather, but
Yeah.
LaValliere, as you say, is good. He's a good catcher.
Yeah. Spanky. You ought to see him hit a golf ball. Those clubs are longer than he is. I laugh so hard playing with him. He's a competitor.
Prince chases a bad pitch on a 2-0 count.
Yeah, you'd like to play with Spanky LaValliere. There you see the Humperdinck. Well, you could have his house, his...
I can't beat anybody. They're all beating me.
How about the Arnaru? How's he hitting him?
He's playing good. Arnold is playing well. He's rolling the ball. He's making some putts for a change. Two-one delivery. Oh, ate him up. Just absolutely ate him up. And there's one gone. That's what swinging at that bad 2-0 pitch gets you. It gets you in a situation. The chances are you might get out.
Yeah, well,
there was
Prince,
a Doc Edwards shot right there.
Oh boy, that was some severe jam right there. A lot of peanut butter in that jam sandwich. But he just goes from a locked position. He's got his hands low and he doesn't get them up in time. These guys that hold their hands low, as you explained so many times, Hawk, have got to be as strong as a bull. Jim Rice is a good example of that.
Here's Al Martin, bounced out to Ozzie, leading off the ball game. No score, top of the third. There are the runners. Tom Foley at third base and Kevin Young at second. Two balls, no strikes. So we'll just see if Steve works carefully in this situation. Of course, that's no piece of cake he's got on deck.
No, that Jay Bell swings the bat. One of the better offensive shortstops in all of baseball.
Comes up with some big base hits.
Yeah, he does. And he can bunt, too.
Off-speed pitch blocked nicely by Fisk. And if you joined us late, Carlton Fisk making his first appearance in a regular game this spring. Carlton's had some trouble with that left wrist.
Well, he got in front of that ball nicely, though. Got that big body moving. Notice Carlton's a little bit thinner than he was last year. He's about 10 pounds lighter than he was in spring training in '92. Done more aerobic work in the offseason. Of course, he works himself as hard as anybody, but less weights and more aerobic exercise, and he looks very svelte, if I must say.
45 years young.
Oh, boy.
Here's a 3-0 pitch. I would imagine he's hitting. He was. And
wow.
The count 3-1.
Hey, this young man took a pretty good rip at a high fastball.
Well, if you can't take a good rip on 3-0.
Hey, we've seen some guys that didn't. What?
How about last year we saw a couple of guys hit 3-0 right-handed hitters and get jammed to the second base?
Yeah. Well, that was a letter high fastball, certainly out of the zone.
That's embarrassing. That's ripped into right field. Ellis Burks is there, makes the catch. Runners will tag. Foley will score, and the Pirates lead it 1-0. Boy, he put a little hurt on that one.
Yeah, he did. Tell you what, you got to like what you've seen from Al Martin so far in this ball game. Take a look. Boy, that ball was tailing away from him. He just goes out there and rips it. Kind of hooks it right at Ellis. Burks makes the catch. Foley will tag. He'll score very easily as the throw goes in the second base. So the Buccos take that 1-0 lead. And Steve can get out of this jam with 1 run. That's a good job of pitching.
Jay Bell. Fly to Lance Johnson his first trip. Wimpy, that's not a bad ball club out there we're looking at in black jerseys.
Oh, no.
That is not a bad ball club. And especially if Steve can give them, 160, 180 innings this year.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody's going to deny the fact that the White Sox can put some points on the board. Tim Raines is not out there tonight. Neither is George Bell. And there's a very productive guys in the lineup. Got to catch it and
That's
pitch a little bit better.
You got to catch it this year. Last year, the Sox could not catch the baseball. Ergo, third place finish. And that's what, when I talk to writers and other people who ask me about the Sox, I just say one thing simply: if they can catch it, they'll win it.
Because I don't think anybody in baseball, particularly the American League, can line up 1 through 9 and have as strong an offensive team.
That ball hit hard in the left field. Bo goes back, looks up, and it's off the fence. Kevin Young scores. Bell into second, and the Pirates lead at 2-0.
Ooh, looked like a backup slider right there. That pitch didn't do a whole lot of anything, and Jay Bell made Steve pay with it. Got the head of the bat out. This guy's got some pop. Not that large, but he gets the head of the bat out. He can hit it a long way. He's got extra base power, not necessarily home run power, but he can hit a lot of doubles.
Here's the right fielder, Orlando Merced. Bounced out to Sachs. Takes it low. Good pitch by Steve, right on the corner. A ball, a strike, 2 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Pirates. No runs, no hits for the Sox. There's a base hit into center field. Just a chopper, but it's going to be good enough to get Jay Bell home, and it's a 3-0 lead.
Take a look at it. There's that fastball tailing out over the plate, really pretty much in the spot where Merced likes it. And that ball had a lot of topspin as it got through the infield quite quickly. So it's a 3-0 Pittsburgh lead, and Jackie Brown out to the mound now to have a little conference with Dave Stieb and Carlton Fisk.
Well, Dave Stieb in this inning has given up as many hits as he has in the last 9. In fact, in the last 9 innings he's worked, given up 4 hits, just 1 run, walked 4, and he's given up 3 runs on 4 hits here in the top of the 3rd.
Well, let me ask you something. He's had 4 outings already, and he's coming off injury problems. Could he be going through like a dead arm period at this point?
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. Even though most pitchers will go through that dead arm period in spring training, Stieb really has been, he hadn't thrown that many breaking pitches, just been doing that lately. And they've been bringing him along really at a very nice pace. He's picked up, as Jackie Brown, the pitching coach, was talking about earlier, he's picked up just about a mile an hour each and every time he's gone out there the last 4 times.
Yeah.
The biggest thing right now for Stieb is just pitching without pain. Jeff King can't get it, and the count 1-1.
Yeah, because I know Dave believes that he's healthy, but in the back of your mind you got to think, my elbows was killing me last year, I had a bad back, and you just can't feel 100% about yourself every time you go out there. It's got to be in the back of your mind someplace.
King fouls it back, and it's the ball and 2 strikes. Well, there's one thing that we all know. This game is tough enough to play when you're 100%. And when you, in fact, you do have something that's wrong with you. But if you're going to take it out there with you, whether it be in the field or on the mound, you got a problem.
I don't know how many times a pitcher's gone out there and says, gee, I feel 100%. Or a player for that matter.
2-2. In that man's career against the Sox, Stieb was 21-4 with a 1.81 ERA.
That's good. Ooh.
Got a good pitch to hit right there.
And I remember one of those games that we beat Dave Stieb. I think it was in '83. He was just dominating us. I mean, from the first inning to the last. I mean, a couple guys got on before Luzinski. A couple of flares over the infield, and Bull, he hung a breaking ball to him. He hit a 3-run homer in the upper deck at left center field at Old Comiskey Park, and that's what beat Stieb.
That pitch popped up. Bo coming on, makes the call, and the catch, and it'll return to the side. Pirates do a little damage. 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, a man left after 2.5. 3-0 Buccos. 3-0 Pirates here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It will be the lower third of the Sox order. Bo Jackson, Carlton Fisk, and Ozzie to face right-hander Paul Wagner, 25-year-old youngster who has really looked impressive thus far. And this spring, he joined us late, coming in this spring with a 1-0 record, a 1.29 ERA. And here's Vincent.
And he gets another nice ovation here.
What was that line that Robin gave?
Robin said the only reason they gave him a standing ovation here is that because 95% of the fans all have hip pointers.
Hip replacements.
Hip replacements. My favorite line.
That was a great line.
Yeah.
And I think it was 85% he said all have. Only Robin can come up with those.
Yeah.
Bo 16 for 43 this spring. As you saw, that will pencil out to 372. Oh, he just misses this one. High, towering fly ball. Man.
Oh.
Mercy.
That ball just got behind him a little bit. If he got a little bit more extension on this one, he would have hit that 9 miles the opposite way. There's a vicious swing from Bo. We have the fastball out over the plate. Just got underneath it a bit. The side view, Bo with the high leg kick. You see the ball's almost by him. But he's so strong, he's still able to hit it a mile high and right to the warning track in right field.
Here's Fisk making his first at-bat of the spring. Played in an inter-squad game, got a couple of base hits. That's what he did last year. Needs 25 more games to break Bob Broome's record. That's popped up into right field. Orlando Merced in fair territory, and there's 2 gone. And a reminder, the Comiskey Park gift shop is now open. You can come on out and visit and find a great selection of White Sox items. The shop is open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And for a free catalog, just dial 1-800-944-SOX-7. Here comes the Ozaroo. Oh, what a spring he's having. 405, no homers, 8 RBIs. And regardless of what anybody says, or what you read, or what you hear, you are looking at the leader of this ball club right there. Two hopper up the middle. Tom Foley throws him out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Paul Wagner after 3. Pirates on top 3-0.
Thank you, Randy Hahn. And there you see the numbers on tonight's ball game. Not good news for the good guys. Top of the 4th inning, the Pirates 3 runs on 4 hits. They have made no errors against Dave Stieb, and the Sox shut out through 3 by Paul Wagner. Wagner very impressive in this 3 innings of work as you look at Stieb, who struggled in the 3rd inning, giving up the 3 runs there. And our next televised game on Sports Channel will be coming your way Monday at 6 Central Time. The Minnesota Twins. They got a good ball club, an exciting lineup against the Sox. That'll be at 6 o'clock Chicago time. And Dave Stieb, number 10, will work against Dave Clark, Lloyd McClendon, and Tom Foley, the first 3 buccos to face him here in the 4th inning. Clark grounded the second, his only time up. That was in the 2nd. Sox are shading him the pull in the outfield. Fouls that one at home plate. Bo Jackson way off the line and left. Lance Johnson out there in center field, a few steps over to right center. And Ellis Burks pretty much straight away and deep in right. Perfect night for baseball. 72 degrees at game time. One of the better days we've had here in spring training this year. Stieb comes down and in with a slider.
Yeah, the last couple of days, really for the first time in a long time, seems like it's spring.
Yeah, humid, hot. Get a lot of good work in today.
Love it.
Grounded foul.
So you sweating a little bit down there bodybuilding earlier?
Oh yeah.
The game?
Well, I was sweating, just so I could eat a little bit more in the press room.
Why do you think that you're overweight, Wimpy?
Yes.
Do you?
Very much so. Yep. The seat is a little tight on me. Look at the crowd, a sellout. That's good. Oh, he hung a breaking ball, and Clark pops it up left side. Robin Ventura there puts it away, and there's 1 down. Yeah, I'm giving up potato chips. Real bad. Fat grams. Got to lay off of them.
What else are you giving
Gonna
up?
do that for Lent. Seeing there's about 3 days left. Here's Lloyd McClendon. Lloyd grounded the shortstop his first time up. Good role player on this team. He'll be used against left-handed pitching. Good fastball by Stieb, catches the outside corner. And they're playing him to pull. Big gap in right center between Lance Johnson and Ellis Burks, but that will be a strong point for the White Sox defensively, that zone. Breaking ball looped over Ozzy's head in the shallow left field. Bo Jackson comes up with it, so the Pirates have something going. 1 out here in the 4th, and a single by McClendon. Doesn't have good speed, but Foley a pretty good hit and run man. We'll see if Leland wants to do anything. I think Leland's going to do a lot of that this year, Hawk. I don't see a whole lot of speed in that lineup. You look at Martin, he looks like he can steal a base. Not a whole lot else, but they can make use of the contact hitters that they have and put a lot of hit and run plays on.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of people last year preseason were saying the same thing about the Milwaukee Brewers. Not a whole lot of speed in that lineup.
Can you believe those guys?
Meanwhile, 265 stolen bases later.
Oh, leading the world. Foley takes good movement on that fastball, catches the outside corner. Tom singled and scored in the 3rd inning. He was the leadoff man.
Tom, you know, everything in baseball changes, even with players. And what we might be seeing right now in the first 2 innings, Steve made a couple of mistakes up, got away with them.
Yep.
Last inning, made some mistakes up, did not get away with it. Here you get that pitch up to McClendon, did not get away with it. Ball gets away from Fisk. So we might be seeing a little transition period in the way of the style that Dave Stieb has to go about his business, and that is down, down, down.
Yeah. Unless he can run that ball in off the plate, especially the right-handed hitter. Right there, that looked like it should be a pass ball.
Yep.
Certainly a catchable one. But the runner at second base now with 1 out. Robin in on the grass at third.
Steve over the years has been a catcher's nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Who was that? Was that had the horrible All-Star game? Was that Darrell Porter?
Darrell, that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire baseball career. In that All-Star game out in California, every time Steve threw a pitch, the only thing you saw was Porter running back to the backstop.
I remember Gedman and Charlie Huff was a pretty good combo. One All-Star game also. Fastball misses up and away. Yeah, but Darrell looked like a Labrador Retriever.
Every time. Remember I don't know if you recall, but they were showing close-ups of Darrell Porter's eyes. Every time Steve would get ready to release, his eyes just got bigger and bigger and bigger. He didn't lay. There were 4 or 5 pitches he never laid a piece of leather on.
Yeah, he must have been talking about a nightmare. How about you think that umpire felt? There's one down low. Foley walks. First walk issued by Steve. So runners at first and second with 1 out. And that'll bring up Kevin Young. Well, he turned on an inside fastball, doubled down the left field line last inning. So he's 1 for 1. Scored a run. Good
you know,
spring.
if you look at Steve's numbers this spring with the 4 walks, just 1 strikeout in his last 9 innings, I should say. We're going to be running some guys out there this year that really are not strikeout pitchers. So that being the case, that's why the defense on our club is going to be imperative, that they catch the baseball, turn the double plays that they've got. This, I'm not talking about sensational plays, just make the routine plays, and the Sox will be all right in 93.
Yeah. That's right. There's not a whole lot of White Sox pitchers going to just blow the hitters away or get a lot of pop-ups. That's why that infield defense is going to be so important. There's one inside to Young. He's in charge now of this count, 2-0.
And outfield. We saw a lot of fly balls hit the ground last year.
Yeah. Well, Ellis Burke should take care of a lot of that. Boy, there's a huge gap between Ellis and Lance Johnson in right center field. There's one up and in. So 3-0. As you look at that defense for Kevin Young, who pulled that ball hard his last time up. 5 hits, 3 runs for Pittsburgh. No runs, no hits for the Sox. Paul Wagner has been very impressive for the Buccos. It looks like that might be him running in the outfield, so good. He's done for the night. Ooh, swinging on 3-0. Ground ball to Robin, over to second for 1. Sacks, no. And the runner's going to come on. Frank Thomas with the ball into second base as Kevin Young with some good base running heads up. And the Pirates go out on top 4-0.
Just a routine double play right here. Should have been turned. Was not. Robin. Just a bad throw by Sachs.
Wow. Well, some sidearm delivery. I don't really know. He may not have had it. Looked like he didn't have a grip on the ball. As you can see, that ball's not even close to first base. A good job going in the second by Foley, but that still, as you mentioned, Hawk, that play should be turned, and Steve should be sitting on the bench right now. That was one of the big problems the White Sox had last year, is their inability to turn the routine double play. Popped up. That's out of here.
Well, that's just what we were chatting about. You don't have to turn sensational double plays. Just turn the ones that you're supposed to turn. And something that the Sox did not do last year.
And that'll be an error on the second baseman on the throw. Depends on whether or not Steve gets Prince out, whether that be an earned run or not. You cannot assume a double play will be turned, even though it should have been. Coming inside on Prince, misses in there. And that is Paul Wagner. It was little poison, wasn't it, for the Pirates back in the...
Hey, he's a pretty good hitter.
Yeah. Paul Wagner. Breaking ball hitting the air hard. Lance on his horse. Way back to the warning track. And yes, the one dog pulls it out. Oh, what a play by Lance Johnson, playing very shallow. Good job by Lance, and that'll do it. Buccos pick up a run, and they lead it 4-0.
That's the story here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-0 Pirates in a pitching change. Big right-hander Joel Johnston, 6'4", 220 pounds, coming over in that Jose Lean trade. He along with Dennis Moeller in exchange for Lean. That's what he's done this spring. 0-2, 4.50 ERA. Worked some against the Sox last season, and one outing was very impressive. Good play by Lance Johnson to end the top of the 4th. Here's Tom Prince, the catcher, hitting it very hard, deep in the left center field. One dog with another good jump. Piece of cake.
And speaking of piece of cake, that Paul Wagner certainly enhanced his chances of making this Pirate ball club with those 3 scoreless innings. White Sox with no hits. He faced the minimum 9 batters. So a good outing from the 25-year-old right-hander, 6'1", 185 pounds, from Milwaukee and Germantown, Wisconsin. Sachs is going to lead things off. He swings at a high fastball. Now, one problem, Johnson can strike you out, but he's walked 11 in 10 innings so far this spring, and that will not endear him to Jim Leyland. Breaking ball misses down and away.
No, that's the worst thing a young pitcher can do who's trying to make a ball club in the spring, as you look at Humperdinck. Milt May, the hitting coach, behind him. And that is be wild, walk guys. Boy, they can live with a guy, youngster, trying to make a club who goes out and has a couple of bad outings by giving up too many hits and runs.
Yeah.
But walking them, no chance.
Yeah, because you got no chance to get that guy out. Sometimes they're going to hit line drives at people. Other times they're going to break their bat and get hits on it. Jim Leyland will understand that, though. Pretty good fastball right there on the hands of Steve Sachs. He shattered that bat. So the count goes 1-2 to Saxey. He struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Ooh, yes, on the outside corner, hard breaking ball.
That's going to get a lot of them right there.
Yeah, that'll lock you.
This is nasty right here.
You know, and that's got to look at that fan. He doesn't hang in there too good, because this guy looks like he's looking at the third base dugout when he's delivering. He's got very deceptive motion, and he's a big guy, as you pointed out. 6'4", 220. Whoa. There's Lance with the bunt. Oh, yes. Jeff King with a good effort. No, Lance Johnson safe at first base. Good job right there by the one dog. And that's a first base hit for the White Sox tonight.
That's something I think Sox fans are going to see a whole bunch more of this year. Lance Johnson picking up some of those bunt singles. Sox hired former player Brian Little, who was one of the best bunters in the big leagues, to work with them. And they have been working very hard on the bunting. Every way. Sacrifice bunts, bunting for base hits. If Lance Johnson can just get 1 a week, just 1 a week, that's going to add another 25 to 30 points on his average.
Big Frank swings through a fastball. He's down to the count 0-1. Frank struck out his first time up. But you know, Brian Little, Hawk, just an excellent bunter. One of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, me too.
They knew that the only thing Brian could do when he was up at the plate was bunt. Everybody was in it, and he'd still get base hits.
Yep.
Tremendous bunter. And that's a good call. He's a good defensive player, too, so he's going to help this organization. I'm really glad that we hired Brian Little as a bunting instructor plus an infield instructor. Good guy. A Chief Inspector Clouseau lookalike, without question.
He and Rebollet from Minnesota.
Oh, boy.
Jeff Rebollet.
Put an overcoat, one of those hats on him. And you're not going to...
I was talking with Brian prior to the game, and it's amazing in today's game. I think, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons that a guy like Lance... Ooh. Almost got him. A guy like Lance Johnson, who has that tremendous speed down the line, or anybody who can run a little bit, is a left-handed hitter. And one of the reasons it's easier to bunt today is pitchers do not feel their position as well. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
And they're out there working on mechanics, concentrating on the catcher, but they don't feel their positions as well.
Well, you know, too, bunting has become almost a lost art, too. There's not that many guys that will drag bunt for a base hit. So now you really can catch them off guard. As you look at the wind really picking up here, looks like it's coming in.
You wanted to blow out when you're 4 runs down, not start coming in.
Yep. Well, maybe he can walk a few. You mentioned he's had trouble with control. Certainly nothing wrong with his stuff. You saw that nasty breaking ball at the knees on the outside corner. He got Steve Saxon looking to start off this inning, and a bunt single by Lance Johnson, a walk to the big hurt. And here's Danny Pasqua. Flied out his first time up. They're going. Lance to third. They got him. Oh, boy. Didn't look like Johnson was paying much attention. So Lance Johnson took off.
He got the perfect pitch to throw him out on. Fastball up and away. Made a high throw, and just in time. Got him just before he reached the base.
Yeah, he did. And of course, too, the left-handed hitter makes it that much easier for the catcher to get a clear view, a good target at third base. He's only got to throw it 90 feet.
Perfect pitch to throw him out.
Yeah.
Clear shot, up and away heater.
The element of surprise didn't work there. 2 out, Frank Thomas at second. Trying to get a good lead to score on a base hit. Pasqua swings through that one, so he's down on the count 1-2. Pirates playing Pasqua to pull in the outfield and deep. Danny with that open stance now has changed considerably his style. Ooh, there's that hard breaking ball down and in, just misses. Danny slimmed down considerably. Looks good, and with that changed stance, he's making better contact. He's walked 12 times, just struck out twice this spring. Fastball runs away. I think Danny a little bit closer to the plate right now, and with the open stance, feels like he's getting a better look at the ball. And he's not so dramatically back on that back leg that he was last year, and so closed. There's ball 4. So Pasqua walks for the 13th time this spring. And Robin Ventura will hit. And how about some baselines for the first time this year? The Sox, major league leaders with a .318 spring batting average, and that's really big when you're considering playing in Florida as opposed to those guys in Arizona where the air is so much lighter. 13-9. And the Sox, the one problem area, and it's a big one, 39 errors in 22 games.
Make that 40 now with the one committed tonight. Pirates on the other side of that page have committed 18. But that is unusually low for spring training, 18 at this juncture.
Yeah, it really is. Well, you get a lot of the fields. They aren't real good.
Guys don't have their rhythm down defensively.
The worst field in the world ever was that Payne Park, though, down the road. I'll tell you, it looked like somebody put landmines in the middle of that infield. And Robin, .315 career with runners in scoring position. That's good. Good changeup right there by Johnston. Whew. We had good arm motion, great movement. Robin way out in front of that pitch. As you look at the svelte Frank Thomas at second. Pasqua at first, 2 down. Here's the pitch. Change up. He flies that one foul. And we'll do it again. 1-2 to Ventura. Sox trail at 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning here at the beautiful Ed Smith complex in Sarasota, Florida. Just saw that graphic, .318 team batting average, but just 1 hit, and that was a bunt single by Lance Johnson a minute ago. He was erased trying to steal third. And the 1-2. Fastball got him. So Johnston regroups, and the Sox leave 2 and are scoreless after 4. It's still 4-0 bad guys. We're back in Florida at the Ed Smith Stadium. You see the Pirates putting a number on the White Sox tonight. 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. The Sox have committed an error and have 1 base hit to show for their efforts through 4. Good crowd. Ooh, that's a nice crowd. Sellout here. And our next televised game on Sports Channel will be Monday at 6 Central Time. The Minnesota Twins come calling against the Sox, and that should be a good one. Well, that Minnesota, they have got a solid, well, they've got a real potent lineup 1 through 6. When you say, Hawk, but those guys line up pretty solid.
Yeah, anytime you've got, you know, Mack and Puckett,
Woo.
Knobloch, top. Of course, they
Herbeck.
lost Herbeck's a big key to that ball club.
Oh, boy.
He's a big, big key to that ball club. I think, in my mind, Minnesota is a good team. There's no question about it. But I do think some of the people that I've been listening to and have seen on TV making their prognostications have them rated a little too high.
I think so. Yeah, I think there's a definite weakness at third base and shortstop.
Well, anytime you're going to move, you know, lay us over to, you know, over to shortstop, that's
Yeah,
a
for
big
Gagne.
move for Gagne.
And you lose a 16-game winner in Smiley. How do you replace those kind of guys? So it'll be interesting to see.
I don't think their pitching is near as strong as some people have it to be forecast.
Yeah. But Dave Winfield coming home should have a big year for him. Boy, this Martin swings the bat. He nails this one down the first baseline. Let's see if he goes for 2. Ellis with the ball to throw to second. A strong throw there. Got him. Oh, yes. What a play by Burks. And Martin was flying around those bases.
Burks can play. He can catch it. He can throw it. This looked like a routine double. But you see right there, positioning of Ellis Burks. He was playing him to pull. Right here, he just turns it loose. Throw off to the left field side, and Ozzie has time to get back and get it. Good play by Burks.
Oh, yeah, that's nice to see. Didn't even... He just turned and got his body in position throwing that way. A lot of guys would do that little spin move. But Ellis, no way. He got it. Strong throw in the air, and Ozzie with a good tag. Yeah. So Jay Bell, who had a solid double his last time up with an RBI, hitting .222 on the spring, also scored a run. That one misses down low. 1-1, 2-1.
Well, with the obviously at this point evidenced by his playing, it looks like Burks is healthy. Looks like he feels good. Looks like he's confident now. As we mentioned, you know, when they signed Burks, he had to prove to himself after the last 2 years that, you know, he could still play. That's the biggest hump he had to get over initially, was to himself. But that man, when healthy, can do it. And to me, as I mentioned, he is the key, the one guy that could be the key to our success in '93, only because of the fact it settles a lot of questions. It makes the job for Gene Lamont a lot easier. It gives him a situation where guys can know what their roles are without having to run 3 and 4 guys out there all the time, trying to find out the guy who's doing the best. That ball popped up in the left field. Bo is there. Bo will make this catch.
Thank you.
But Burks, what he does, he gives this ball club a settling effect with a guy who can hit. Fine outfielder. There you see, as Wimpy was referring to, he didn't make the spin move. Got a strong enough arm, he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Just stands there, turns a little sideways, and guns him out.
You know, a lot of guys turned full circle on that one. Yours truly certainly would have had only one chance, and then have thrown about a 5-hopper in the second base. Safe.
Ditto.
Yep. You guys make that play like Ellis just did. Boy, that just shows you a strong throwing arm, too, to set up that way and gun it. I don't know which way is actually quicker.
The only way I could have got that guy is if I had Rocky Colavito playing second.
There's a shot down the left field line. Merced going for extra bases. He'll get there easily to second. And you can see the significance of that play by Ellis Burks, the first batter of this inning. He saved a run. But the Pirates have another runner in scoring position. That's their 7th hit of the night off of Dave Stieb. And with 2 out, Jeff King will hit.
Third baseman, number 7, Jeff King.
Merced now 2 for 3 on the evening. And they're going to need his bat. I'm talking about Jeff King. He really never lived up to the promise when they drafted him number 1 out of the University of Arkansas. No, he's had a lot of back problems in his career with the Pirates.
I remember when I first saw King, when he joined the Pirates in spring training. It looked like he was going to be some kind of hitter. In fact, he reminded me a little bit at that time, the way he approached hitting, of Jeff Burrows. You know,
Oh,
young
wow.
Jeff Burrows.
Yeah. Well, he takes a good slash at the ball every time up there. But he's going to have to hit more than 231 with 14 homers, 65 runs batted in this year, especially if he's going to hit cleanup. You get Merced at second base.
Well, when you get a guy in that cleanup position, today it's so important that he hit mistakes. And that's what hitting's about anyway. Guys make good pitches on you, grab some bench. You're not going to do anything with them. But there's your prototype cleanup hitter, is when he doesn't miss many mistakes. That's one reason George Bell does such a good job.
Yeah, he gets that mistake and he rips it. Oh, he pops this one up. Fastball. Carlton Fisk coming back to the screen, and that will be out of play. Nobody knows where that ball wound up.
This guy's still looking for it. Hit off that guy in Wimpy's shirt
Tank
there.
top, bodybuilding suit. God, I hope
Went right
I don't look
into
like that guy.
to the seats. They're still looking for it down there.
Look at him. So the 1-2 pitch coming up to Jeff King with the runner at second base. Sox trailing at 4-0, top of the fifth. Ow, jam sandwich. He got the head of the bat out though, bit.
Almost
Hits it
broke
foul.
his bat.
That was good movement on that pitch.
Well, Dave just made a lot of mistakes. He made some even in the second inning, you know, when he got him out. Made a lot in the third when they scored 3. Made some last inning. Made some here. Jeff King's had 2 real good pitches to hit.
Yes, he
Fastball
has.
out over the plate and a hanger. Fouled them both back.
Well, Steve always impressed me. If he was an inch or two off of the plate is when he's most effective. He can't extend those arms, especially the right-hander. Breaking ball. He fouls that one back.
That's pretty good breaking ball right there. Even though it was up a shade, it still had quick movement to it rather than that roller.
Yeah. Well, Dave Stieb, in his latter time that he spent with the Blue Jays, it seemed like when he would go with the fastball and that slow curveball more than the slider. Good pitch right there. Fish were biting. Jeff King goes down. And Dave Stieb will pitch a scoreless 5th inning. We're halfway through this ball game. From Ed Smith, Sox trail at 4-0. We're back in Sarasota at the Ed Smith Stadium, and here's our game summary for tonight's ball game. Pirates with 4 runs, 7 hits. They haven't made any errors. The Sox 0-1-1. Wagner was outstanding. Paul worked 3 strong innings, no hits, 3 strikeouts. Dave Stieb has gone 5, given up 3 earned runs. Lance Johnson's bunt single, the only damage the White Sox have done tonight. Here's Ellis Burks to lead off the 5th inning. Joel Johnston, second Pirate pitcher of the night, worked a scoreless 4th. Here's Ellis, takes a breaking ball down and away. Ellis leading the White Sox in RBIs this spring with 11. Couple of homers to go with that. Fastball. I think he swung over the top of that one.
He will do that. He is one of the few hitters, even when he's hitting well, will go over the top of the fastball. 99.9% of the other guys go underneath it.
Go underneath it, sure. Well, he hammers this one in the left. He got on top of that high fastball and nails it to left. Oh, he's got good hands.
Quick hands. Very quick. Keeps his right shoulder, his back shoulder up so well.
That's true. If you drop that back shoulder, you can't hit a high fastball.
Look at that right shoulder. We commented when Ellis Burks was when he was with Boston and healthy, driving in 80 and 90 runs a season for him, that he kept his back shoulder up like Hank Aaron used to keep his up.
Yeah. It looked like he almost transfers his chin from his front shoulder to his back shoulder on that last swing. That was pretty. Here's Bo. Bo Jackson. Blow flied to deep right field his first time up, hitting .364 on the spring, and he just missed that one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bo can't catch the breaking ball.
Here's just a good-looking swing. Not a whole bunch of head movement up there. Head starts forward, comes back just a shade. That's bootyful.
Yeah, that's a lot like McGuire. There's a pretty good fastball, just misses. Boy, there was just minimal head movement right there, and that chin just went from the front shoulder to the back shoulder. Do that every time, Ellis. It's easy, isn't it? Bo, he takes the fastball inside. So the count goes to 2-2. Sox trail by 4 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Outfield deep for Jackson. They're swung a little bit to pull. Big gap in right center. Here's a look at the Buccos on defense. Pittsburgh 96 and 66 last year. 30 games over 500. Oh, got him. Bo went fishing.
No, that was a good pitch. Good pitch on a 2-2 count right
Oh, yeah.
there. Wasn't a strike, but it was close enough on a 2-2. That's nasty.
Late breakage right there. A tight spin. He certainly didn't give away anything with the rotation there. As you can see, he's walked 2, struck out 3 in an inning and a third. Good arm. Lordy. Here's Carlton Fisk. 0 for 1 tonight. He had a fly ball to right his first time up. Carlton with a little open stance. Fouls that one straight back.
And a reminder of something new. It's called the Family Sox Pack. Exclusively on Saturday and Sunday games in the upper terrace room of Comiskey Park. For $12 you'll receive a game ticket, hot dog, Coke, and potato chips. Drinking or smoking is not allowed in this family section. So for information on this exciting new program, just dial 312-451-5354. Boy, when you talk about Sox food, you talk about the Bertucci boy.
Oh boy. Why'd you have to mention that now on my
because
diet?
you said you were going to give up potato chips for Lent.
Thankfully, the Bertucci's don't make potato chips. Look out.
Ooh,
Oh, my.
That got him good.
There was nowhere to run there. Nowhere to hide. There's Dr. Herm. Right between the 7 and the 2 from our angle. Oh, I flinched.
No chance right here. When that ball goes behind you, I'll tell you what, he's lucky he didn't get hit in the head right there.
Yeah. Well, at least Carlton put his face away from the ball, turned his shoulder away instead of that face coming in. He turned that head away from it, but boy, that still hurts.
If he tries to go down and away, he gets him right in the helmet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, boy, there was just nowhere for him to go. That ball obviously slipped out of Joel Johnston's hand.
Well, he's been wild tonight. He's been wild all spring. It's certainly something that Joe Johnston looking at Fisk, who's taking his time over there. Well, he should, but I'm sure that youngster feels very bad about it.
Well, this guy looks like a real fun at bat, doesn't he?
Oh, man.
From a right-hander?
Scratch me.
Oh, I'm hurt. No, these are the kind of guys that I got to play against. Oh, boy. Just above that 7. And Carlton, the gamer that he is, stays in there at first base. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And Ozzie Guillen, the hitter. Ozzie nails the high fastball right at the second baseman. They will turn an easy double play. Boy, Ozzie really got up above that high fastball and ripped it. Tough luck, though, as the Sox go scoreless in the 5th inning and they trail it 4-0. Here's the Jim Leyland file. National League Manager of the Year in 1990 and 92. He's won 3 straight NL East titles. Still has yet to win the big enchilada, but what a manager he has been. A .611 winning percentage against the Chicago Cubs. That's his highest winning ratio against any other opponent. So Humperdinck looking good. New baby on the way, coming up shortly. He's got a youngster. Ray Miller is pitching coach on the right of your screen. And a pitching change for the White Sox. Dave Stieb works 5 innings, gives up 4 runs on 7 hits, and Ramon Garcia will appear in his 5th ball game. He's 1-0 with a .284 earned run average, so those are good numbers for Ramon. 1 save, giving up 6 hits in 6 1/3 innings, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. So Ramon, who has seen limited action with the White Sox, that was a couple of years ago.
Watch this between innings,
Oh,
Whippy.
boy.
This is you. The guy on the right is you. What's
Well, the
this?
guy in the middle with that big fat pelican is
They
me.
turn around. They make him go.
Not on your life.
Oh, that's funny. All right, here we go. 4-0 Pirates, top of the 6th inning. Garcia in relief of Steve, and it'll be Dave Clark to lead it off for the Pirates. Clark, McClendon, and Foley. And you might notice Ramon Garcia a little more svelte. I like this guy. I like Garcia. He got a chance.
Yeah, Ramon looks good. A lot of svelte guys in camp.
Hey, for the kind of money they're paying, if you come in overweight, you got to be a num-num.
Yeah, you got to be nuts.
Garcia has good movement on his fastball. Of course, Sox fans will remember when he came up. Outstanding against the Oakland A's. Grand slam home run. Gave up, and outside of that, he was really tough.
And who hit that?
The grand slam did Gallego.
You're amazing.
Was that Gallego?
You're incredible.
I was going to say Mark McGuire.
That was Mike Lego Gallego.
That's right. It was a fastball. 3-1 fastball
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Or 3-2 fastball up he hit. The ball hit hard. Frank can't get there, so Clark leads it off with a single.
Well, Ramon's not going to fool a whole lot of people. Not going to throw the ball by a whole lot of people,
No.
that is. But he's got a good changeup. And that was a good pitch for him. Last year he spent the entire season at Vancouver, was 9-11. And he is bidding for a spot on the roster this year from Guanare, Venezuela. Ramon is just 23 years old. 9-11 last year with a 3.71 earned run average.
The one thing we saw in his first, remember his first 2 starts with the Sox that season, he was very aggressive, getting after everybody. On top in the count, you know, 0-2, 1-2. Then for some reason, the 3rd or 4th start, he goes out there and he starts trying to pick.
Yes.
And he was 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. Now, he cannot be that. He's got to be aggressive out there. He's got to be proud of what he's taking to the hill.
That's right. Oh, you're so right. He was very impressive in his early goings.
McClendon off the end of the bat in left field. Here comes Bo. He can't get there. That'll fall for a base hit. So a little soft, semi-duck snort.
Second baseman, number 16, Tom Foley.
Well, it was down and away. It had a good location to it. And as Hawk mentioned, McClendon just got the end of the bat out there. And he snorted it over the infield. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And they're looking for a bunt here from Foley. Good situation hitter. You see he's having a good spring at 346, but Robin way in at third base and Frank Thomas ditto at first.
So McClendon 2 for 3. Here's Foley. He's 1 for 1, a single, a run scored, and a walk. Went out in front of the mound. Fisk has it. Over the Sox covering. Sacrifice 2-4.
And I think you'll be seeing plenty of that this year from Jim Leyland's Pittsburgh Pirates without that firepower of a Barry Bonds.
I hope we see a lot of that this year from Gene Lamont's White Sox.
I hope so too. Yeah, little ball that wins a lot more games than those 3-run homers. You can't rely on that. Get a couple guys in scoring position now. Base hit, it's 2 runs.
First baseman Kevin Young, double scored and hit into a fielder's choice. Sox with the infield in, outfield for the most part straight up. Ventura back a couple of steps at third. Nice block, nice stop by Fisk.
You see Carlton very active behind the plate this evening, doing a good job getting that big body in front of that ball, preventing a run from scoring.
Fastball Pretty good pitch to hit right there. Fouls it away, and the count evens at 1. If you joined us late, totals on the board for the Pirates: 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. For the Sox, no runs, just 2 hits, and 1 error. On deck hitter, the catcher, Tom Prince. Plays off the breaking pitch, and the count moves to 2-1.
Now they're counting on another youngster, Garcia, Carlos Garcia, I believe his name is, to fill that second base spot that Jose Lind played so well for so many years for Pittsburgh. And here's another youngster right here, this young. Uh-oh.
Ball hit hard into right center field. Lance Johnson, good jump. He gets there. One dog, nice play. As Clark tags, he will score. McClendon tags, moves into third, and it's a 5-0 ball game. Nice play by Lance.
Yeah, nice job by Lance, and a good job of hitting, too, by Kevin Young. Well, I'll tell you what, these two youngsters that we have seen tonight, Young and Martin, have been impressive. There you see a breaking ball. It's up, out over the plate, and he smokes it into that gap in right center field. Lance has to go a long, long way, but he gets his usual good jump. Clark will score easily from third base. That ball hit very deep, and so it's 5-0 Pittsburgh. Well, I like those two young kids. Whew.
Year in and year out, Wimpy, we have seen the Pirate organization come up with a lot of good young offensive players. Well, they go up there hacking.
Oh, yeah. You can, from the time when you really start following baseball seriously in the 60s, 70s, they've always had powerhouse offensive teams, but they've been able to maintain that over the years. Yeah.
Pittsburgh Lumber Company.
Yeah. Oh, man, they had some mashers. Whew. Stargell and all those guys.
Garcia Fisk having trouble locking up on a sign. 1-0 the count with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Willie Stargell embarrassed me one day. We were playing down in Fort Myers when the Pirates used to be there. Infield was hard as a rock. They're leading us like 13-1. 5th inning. Bases loaded, 2 out. 3-0 the count. So I'm just sitting back on my heels at first base. Not. He hit me a one-hop, hit me right in the back. I just fell right over, and the ball hit me right in the fanny. Actually, is where it hit me. There's no way in the world, 13-1 lead, you know, that he's going to be swinging 3-0.
Wow.
I mean, it was a rocket.
Oh, he could scare you. He hit balls that looked like golf balls. Hit him so hard. Little bitty things.
Tell you, the guy that absolutely scared me the most playing first base was when he was hitting was Willie McCovey.
McCovey, yeah.
He'd tear you off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, vicious shots down there.
She's seeing Willie Mays and now one day. Willie was on first and I was playing. Alvin Dark says, hold him on. I said, I said, I'm not holding him on. He said, if you don't, it's going to cost you $500. Willie and I are fencing around to see who's going to get in front of who as the pitch is being made.
Wow. That's scary when you can't see a ball.
Oh, I'll tell you what. When you're holding a guy on and McCovey was hitting, it was unbelievable how frightened you could get at first base. I'm talking about the runner, too.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't have any protection. Probably wouldn't do any good because he couldn't see it anyway.
And the harder they would throw, the harder he would hit it. He could yank a 30-30.
Drysdale didn't have a whole lot of luck against him, did he?
Boy, don't bring that up to that big German. He gets hot about that.
He never got him out from what you look at the record books. And he got everybody out.
3-2 pitch. That'll be Souvenir right side. Capacity crowd here at Ed Smith Stadium. Sox have been, even through this very harsh weather this spring, of averaging about 5,600 per game. Weather has not been real good. The wind has been exceptionally strong for the most part all spring. That wind is really something that can cause a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Ball hit hard in left field. Got a hanger. Bo won't get this one. This off the fence. Prince rounding second, on his way to third base. Ozzie with a relay, the quick relay in time. They nail him, but McClendon scores. So the Pirates put a couple on the board, and after 5.5, it is 6-0 Pittsburgh. got 6-10-0 for the Buccos, 0-2-1 for the Sox. Sox with a beautiful bunt single by Lance Johnson in the fourth and a shot by Ellis Burks last inning, and that has been all she wrote offensively. He joined us late. Paul Wagner worked 3 innings, giving up nothing. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Joel Johnston has come in, worked 2 innings, giving up those 2 base hits, couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. He's been wild, but 2 double plays have helped the Pirates. So Johnson has concluded his warm-up tosses. It'll be the top of the order for the Sox. Sachs, Johnson, and Thomas. And while we have a moment, I want to send out a big White Sox hello to Karen and Mort Levy. Karen, wife of Dr. Doom.
He is that. Yeah. I like Mort because he agrees with everything I say, or most of the things. We think a lot alike, the doctor and I.
That figures. Steve 0 for 2 tonight. Pitch all the way back to the stop and the count 2-0.
Yeah, this Johnson doesn't look like much fun up there. He'll throw 3 or 4 pitches, not even close, and then paint you.
There's only one place you don't want to see him other than this, and that's in batting practice.
Oh. Oh.
I'd rather face him in the game and take BP off.
Yeah. Because he got more shots at you.
Oh. Boy, I used to hate those big, gangly, tall, wild, hard-throwing right-handers in BP in spring training who were trying to make a club. Merciless. They wanted to get you out. They didn't want to throw BP. They wanted to saw you off, knock you down, hit you on the end of the bat. That's a high charge. That's trouble. That's by Jay Bell. Base hit for Sachs. So Sachs, 30 stolen bases last season. Good speed aboard. Jay Bell's not going to throw him out if he makes a play.
No, Jay's thinking pretty much do or die, trying to get it on the short hop right there. Boy, that ball had a lot of top spin on it. See that high bounce, got through there quickly.
Here's Lance. Bounced to second, and as we mentioned, had a beautiful bunt single, something I think we're going to see more of in 1993.
Well, Lance has got a good ability to hit the ball the other way on the ground. So with that third baseman way in like King is now, he's going to get a lot more hits that way, too.
That ball hit hard in the right center field. Nobody's going to get this one. This is Abe Twainer. Lance flying, going around second base. Here comes Sachs. He's going to score. So the triple by one dog, and the Sox get on the board.
Well, Lance showed that ability last year to pull the baseball. And now the defense is going to have to be really honest with him. They're going to have to, they're not going to put everybody on the left side. As you can see him turn on this fastball. He's a little bit closer to the plate, gets the head of the bat out and drills it in that gap in right center. Now that's going to help him as much as his ability to bunt right there, the ability to pull.
Well, Wimpy, you mentioned having the third baseman because he can go down the opposite field. I think by his ability to pull, as we saw the last 2 months of the season, it's going to help him bunt even more than going the other way by having the first baseman have to come in. Big Frank in the right center field. Merced makes a catch. Lance tags. Here he comes. Good throw by Merced, not in time, and it's a 6-2 ball game. RBI number 10 for Frank Thomas.
Designated hitter, number 44, Dan Pasqua.
Danny Pasqua steps in with 1 out. Danny has flied to center and walked. Yeah, if he can continue, talking about Lance Johnson, to pull the ball the way he did the last 2 months of the season by standing closer to the plate. Now that first baseman, and you know they're not a whole bunch of fancy Dans at first base defensively. They're going to have to come in. Now all Lance has got to do is get it by the pitcher, and he's got himself a base hit.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to go that way for Lance than it is to make the perfect bunt down the third base.
Sure.
Breaking ball strike, and the count 0-2. Here's one dog. Having a fine spring as Pasqua's gone, and there's 2 out. Fourth strikeout for Joel Johnston.
Number 23, Robin.
And look at the movement right here on this fastball, Danny. Not able to catch up with it. Thought that ball was going to be on the inner half, wound out in the outer half, and out in front of it.
Here's Robin, 0 for 1 with a walk. And a reminder, the first fireworks show of the season is Saturday, April 10th, when the Sox host the New York Yankees at 6:05. Now to play. 1-1 the count. Now the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority will present a spectacular fireworks display for all fans. So for tickets, just dial 312-831-1 Sox. Boy, that's always a fun time. Saturday night at Comiskey Park, a beautiful, spectacular fireworks display. As Kevin Young picks it up, steps on the bag, and that'll do it. Sox get on the board. A couple of runs after 6 is 6-2 Pittsburgh. That's the story here in the top of the 7th inning. For the Pirates, it'll be the top of the order. Al Martin, Jay Bell, and Orlando Merced, schedule hitters to face right-hander Ramon Garcia, who came in last inning and ran into some problems in a hurry, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. This young man right here, he'll come out of that dugout swinging. Out of West Covina, California, just 25 years old. If you joined us late last year, 20 homers, 59 RBIs at Buffalo while hitting .305. He goes to hacking again.
I don't know if he's going to be the ideal leadoff man because of the fact that he swings. I mean, goes up there hacking. You got to like that. But he probably won't induce too many bases on balls. But he takes a big rip up there.
1-1 the count. Pirates with 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. Ball and 2 strikes. And I'm just sitting here thinking about those. A little hungry, won't this? It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Just sitting there thinking about those Bertucci boys, chicken and ribs.
Yeah.
You know, if they were as good of friends as they say they are of ours.
Right.
You know. That's not hit that hard in the right field. Ellis Burks is there. And there's one gone.
You think they would like send us some?
Yeah. I mean, it's not that big a deal.
It isn't?
Put it on the plane in the morning, have it sent down, it won't cost but what. Something that you would certainly pick up. You know, you'd pick up the freight on that.
I mean, I'd go down there and pick it up.
Wimpy, before you pick up that freight, you would bicycle from here to Chicago and back. Here's Bell. He's 1 for 3, a double RBI and a run scored.
I think I can get back for the next televised
ninth
game.
inning.
Yeah. Look at that pelican down there, and then I think of myself.
There's fastball strike. Also, of course, a guy that's very dear to us who puts out some outstanding food. The fans don't get a chance to get him is Roy Rivas.
Oh yeah, Roy's great. Look at this guy.
That's smoked in the left field, right at Bo. Hey, did a nice job right there. That's tough play. That ball knuckling on him a little bit.
And probably gotten the lights over there too. That bank of lights. Piece of cake. Oh, Bo Jackson, getting himself the proper angle. You got to get down.
Look at those thighs. Can you imagine that playing this game with an artificial hip? Is that unbelievable? I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable.
I can't imagine it.
Orlando Merced, well, he's done so many other things that nobody else has done, and this certainly, you know, just to put another one on the list.
Yeah, he's got it through stage 1 of his program.
Yeah, the only thing that comes to mind, probably more unbelievable than that, is Pete Gray.
Played with one arm, right?
Played with one arm. Played in the big leagues.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And of course, Monty Stratton played with a wooden leg.
Yeah. And Herm Schneider didn't work on any of those
No,
guys.
I tell you, if Herm had been around, we may have seen extended careers from those two guys.
Monty Stratton.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Merced. Swung the bat well tonight. Single, double, ribby. Full count. And a quick reminder, talking about hips, you can have some fun in the sun with the Sox 38 and 31 game bleacher plans are the ever popular 20-game hip season ticket plan starting at $160. For information, just dial 312-924-1000.
Rob Gallas keeps coming up with those great ideas. I love the plan you talked about earlier, Hawk, with the $12 for the terrace seats. You get the hot dog, you get the Coke, the ticket. It's a great deal.
Another shot base hit by Merced. We had mentioned earlier that the Pirates have won 3 consecutive divisional titles. And there in the last 5 years, you see. Boy, there, you know, outside of the Pirates, you look at Oakland, Toronto, and the Mets, and look at the payrolls those clubs have had versus the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Isn't it amazing? That's a great point right there. Whew.
Jeff King takes the strike in the count 0-1. King is hit by a pitch, popped to left, and struck out. Boy, there's a big difference.
An unbelievable difference.
Yeah, really. That just shows you what Jimmy Leland has done.
Yeah. Well, they lost Bobby Bonilla the year before last season. They still won 96 ball games.
Every year they're having, you know, and you can't blame the Pirates. I mean, you really, if you don't have it, you can't spend it.
That's right.
It's just that simple. Every business has a budget, and if they don't have it, they can't spend it. But also now, if you want to take it one step further, does indeed Pittsburgh warrant a major league franchise? Pitch out, nothing off. I mean, look at what they've won. They still can't draw. And a lot of people now speculating that Pittsburgh might be the first club to relocate.
Yeah. Well, when you don't sell out World Series games,
that's what I'm saying.
You know,
yeah.
And the Steelers, you can go out there at 40 below and they'll still have a sellout.
2-2 the count. Yeah, a lot of people are speculating now that Pittsburgh, because of the new ownership in Seattle, will relocate before Seattle will. It's just a matter of time before Seattle does it too. They don't have the Whimperoo anymore. Making those promos out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are some of the greatest, funniest. I tell you, we should get some of those Jim Angio as a runner takes off, foul back. We should get some of those promos that Wimpy made when he was with the Mariners. With those helmets and that long hair is that coif he had. We got to do that and show some of our fans.
Hey, those things took at least 10-15 minutes to create too.
Well, only because of you, one take Drake over here.
Well, we didn't have a clue. We didn't know what we were doing. Hey, there were some other guys. Lenny Randall had some great ones. We introduced the funny baseball commercial.
Jammed him, ate him up, popped him up. Matt Marulo back and drops it. So the second error of the game committed by the Sox. Once again, the 2-2. Check swing. That'll be going foul. It's going to be nice to get home. Just looking at the field right here. This field, without question, one of the tops in all of spring training. And of course, Roger Bossard oversees the conditioning of this field.
Oh yeah, this field is better than a lot of major league surfaces.
It's better than some.
Sure.
High in the left field. Bo is there. Never fear. That'll do it. Nothing across. There was a hit. One error. One left. 7th inning stretch. 6-2 Buccos. Shaq got the ball. Michael took it away from him 3 times.
Wow.
3rd time, Shaq just had to grin. He had to laugh. I tell you, Shaquille O'Neal is fun to watch play. Wimpy, he plays hard.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he is, and he is big and strong. And a pitching change for Pittsburgh. Blas Minor. Spring 0.90 earned run average in 7 games, so he has done a terrific job for these folks. 8 hits allowed in 10 innings. He has struck out 8 while walking just 1. Whoa. Gotta like that. Fastball to Ellis Burks, who's going to lead off the 7th inning for the White Sox. Ellis had a good at bat his last time up. Hit the ball hard. Line shot single. So he's hitting .279 on the spring with those 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. Blas Minor is 27 years old, from Merced, California. Ooh. Changeup right there, 6'3", 195-pounder. Has only 9 days of Major League service, but he is trying to win a spot this year. 2.43 earned run average last year at Buffalo. 5-4 record. Slider misses outside. Good control, just 26 walks last year, 96 innings of work. Opportunities. Well, they say if you're a... Oh boy, he hits this one down the left field. A little off the end of the bat, and it is just foul. Initially, I thought he smoked it.
Hit it pretty hard.
I thought it was going to be out of here, though.
Is that the reason you can't putt?
Yeah, I can't judge. Whoa, is that close? Extra bases. Let's see, Ellis didn't think he hit it so good. Checking his bat out. Doesn't need a new weapon, though. So Ellis Burks will be followed by Bo Jackson. Carlton Fisk is out of the game, so Matt Marullo will hit in the 3rd spot in this inning. Check swing, foul ball at home plate.
You know, Wimpy, a lot has been said the last week or so about baseball trying to speed up the games. And indeed, something is going to have to be done. There are too many liberties taken by everybody. Pitchers, hitters, you know, getting into the plate. Pitchers taking too much time. They're trying to implement some new rules on how to go about this. Did you get your memo today?
Yes, I did.
You know, they can come out with all the rules they want. There's only one thing that's going to speed up a game, and that's the umpires.
Yes.
Only thing.
Yeah.
If they would just tell the umpires, look, as you look at John Hirschbeck, a good umpire, if they would just tell the umpires, look, speed the games up, guys. The ball hit hard. Deep.
Get up.
Way back. Good catch.
Boy. Hey, this Martin can play. Andy Van Slyke out right now with some knee problems, but they're not losing a whole lot out there right now. And Al Martin, of course, Van Slyke a great player, but you could use Martin someplace in the outfield. This guy can play. Great
There's a fine play right there.
Yeah.
He had a long way to go for that ball. That ball was scalding.
And that ball was hit directly over his head, too, so he had to use the drop step, run to a spot, find it, and leap up there against the wall and make the good running catch. Well, he's impressed us this evening. I was watching a Brave game the other day, and John Sherholtz was talking about speeding up the game, and he mentioned exactly what you said about the umpires. Bo can't catch the changeup. And he said that the umpires would go back to the way they did the old days, standing directly over the catcher instead of over the inside shoulder. First of all, they'd see the outside corner a heck of a lot more, and they wouldn't be getting down so low so they could call a high strike. And he felt like that would do a great deal in speeding up the game, plus more strikes, getting the hitters to swing the bat.
Well, the umpires don't want to stand out there an average of 3 hours plus every game either.
No.
If Bobby Brown and Bill White would just say, hey, fellas, it's your job. It's your ball of wax. Speed up the game. We'll back you up. If you want to have the pitcher throw and call the pitch on the hitter, if he's taking too much time, do that. Anything will back you up. I'll tell you what, these umpires will speed this game up.
Yeah. Well, they want to get it 15, 20 minutes faster.
A hanger.
Chopper. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Well, you'll never get back to the time of playing those hour and 30 and hour and 35-minute games because of commercials in between innings. It's not going to happen. But you can speed the game up appreciably more than it is played at this pace.
Yeah. High fastball. Bo can't get it. So Minor strikes out Bo Jackson. There's 2 out in the White Sox 7th.
Here's some high gas right here. He reaches back and gets another 6 or 8 inches and just gets it by him. That had a little giddy up on it.
Whew. I was reading in USA Today, if you're a young player and you want to have an opportunity to play in the big leagues, Pittsburgh Pirates are a good place to start because there's a lot of openings on that team because of a lot of guys leaving. There's a change up to Matt Marullo on the inside corner at the knees. Here you see Matty having a great spring in 22 at bats, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in, 364 hitter. He wanted away this time. Fastball. That one misses.
The one thing that has impressed everybody about Matt at the plate is the fact he's looking at the ball a lot longer. If you can look at it longer, you're going to hit better.
Looks good and relaxed up there. He can't catch up to that heater. Fouls it off left side. Well, Matt always has been a power factor. You know, he can certainly hit the ball out of the ballpark, and he got a couple big hits for the White Sox. Remember that homer he hit against Jeff Reardon at Fenway Park? Huge hit.
Top of the 10th.
Yeah. And he grounds this one. 0-2 Hopper. Backing up. Blas Minor covers first base, and that'll do it for the Sox. A 1-2-3 inning. And after 7, the good guys trail at 6-2.
That is the story here. 6-11-0 for the Pirates, 2-4-2 for the Sox, and a pitching change. Right-hander Bobby Thigpen coming on for Ramon Garcia. If you joined us late, Dave Stieb started. And as effective as he's been in his last 9 innings, he was touched up a little bit. Stieb went 5, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned, 7 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Garcia. And now Bobby Thigpen. That's what he's done this spring.
And Bobby, you see with that 12-point earned run average, trying to get back in the groove that he had 3 years ago when he saved 57 ball games for the White Sox. In the 8th inning, it'll be Dave Clark, the leadoff man. As you look at Gene Lamont, he certainly wants Bobby Thigpen to return to his old form. See some changes. Graybeck has gone into play second base. There's little Craig. Michael Huff having an outstanding spring for himself as the new center fielder. Oh, he's playing great. There's a foul at home plate. Bobby Thigpen evens the count at 1-1 to Dave Clark. Bo still in left. Ellis Burks the right fielder. Big Frank still at first base. Robin Ventura at third. Ozzie Guillen is still the shortstop. Marullo behind the plate, and Bobby Thigpen working for the Sox. Clark 1 for 3, scored a run late on the fastball. Left side. Talk a little bit about the White Sox bullpen for 93, Hawk. I think that, to me, that's one of the strengths of this ball club. You know, Bobby didn't pitch as well as he's certainly capable of last year, but with the emergence of Roberto Hernandez, my goodness, he had just threw the ball as well as anyone. There's a hot shot to Frank. Takes it himself, and there's one down.
Well, certainly at this point, you got to think Roberto is the man, you know, in the pen. Yeah. But I think the pen is going to be very solid. You got some guys out there. You know, Chuck Carey has really made an impression on some people down here. He's unscored on in 10 1/3 innings.
Woo.
Giving up just 2 walks. He's got a good arm. He's got some age on him, 33 years old. But the point is that he's always had a good arm. He's been an enigma to every club he's been with. If the Sox and Jackie Brown can get him to come around, you're talking about a left-hander can come out there and do a job for you.
Oh, no doubt. And plus, he'd complement Scott Radinsky very well from the left side. Terry Leach,
Terry Leach is
Mr.
Terry Leach.
Dependable.
That's right. That's exactly right. There's going to be, I'll tell you, there's going to be a couple of situations down there in that bullpen that conceivably could surprise a couple of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Lonnie Smith is the hitter for the Buccos. He's right on top of the plate. And he can hit. Former Atlanta Brave. Fastball up high. Former St. Louis Cardinal. Kansas City Royal.
And you know, one thing
Philly.
as you look at Lonnie Smith's numbers this spring, the one thing that a manager in the big leagues absolutely loves to have down in that bullpen as he checks it up, fouls it away, is 2 left-handers.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to try to win a divisional title, unless you've got 4 right-handers who are outstanding, and not too many bullpens can say that. And you
No.
go with the one, you could, if you had 5 right-handers who are outstanding, you could go with them. But
Yeah.
you got to have 2 left-handers so you can control the other man's lineup. If you only get the one, he controls you.
It sure seems that way. You just never get the upper hand in a late inning situation. You're used up. There's a fly ball off the end of the bat on a breaking ball. Good pitch by Thigpen. Michael Huff puts it away, and there's 2 down. Yeah, so that certainly enhances the value of Chuck Carey without
No
a
question.
doubt.
Tom Foley.
Without a doubt. Yeah, the bullpen really, to me, is a source of strength for this White Sox team. All those guys have ability to keep the game in perspective, allowing the offense to come back and win a lot of times. And Tom Foley takes ball 1. Bobby looks crisp with that fastball this evening. Down and in. Then he falls behind 2-0, and that was a big key with Thigpen last year. He was pitching too many times, 2-0, 3-1 in the count.
He
And
did that when he had 57 saves. He's always been a 2-0, 3-1 pitcher.
There's a shot. Hooked foul. He got that 2-0 fastball, and he ripped it out of play. Happy camper right there with a souvenir. Yeah, when you put the gun on Bobby, he's pretty much the same from a velocity standpoint. I think confidence really has been a main thing for him as a changeup. Belief in oneself that you really are going to do the job. I think that may have suffered last year. There's ball 4 on the high fastball.
Well, Wimpy, the greatest saying I have ever heard on that, ever. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right either way.
Yeah.
And that's what that confidence factor is. And Bobby certainly last year did not have it.
Well, you know for yourself, if you're the 4th hitter in an inning, or you're the possible guy that's coming in the pinch hit in the bottom of the 9th inning, you almost hope, I did, that the other 3 guys didn't do the job, so I couldn't get up there because I was so bad.
And then you've had to reverse too. I've been on the on-deck circle with, with 1 out and a winning run on 3rd base, and Yastrzemski or somebody hit in front of me, and down deep I was sort of hoping he'd pop up so I could knock him in.
Yeah, because you knew that you were going to do it. That's right. And the other time when your confidence isn't right, you're praying that he would.
Exactly.
Take that pressure off.
Come on, Yaz.
Yeah.
Knock him in.
Come on, anyone. Yeah.
Come on, anybody is right.
Yeah, and when that bullpen phone rings, when you're going good, you expect to get up and get the ball and get them out. And then when that phone rings, you just kind of dread they're going to call your name when things aren't going well for you. It's just human nature. There's a ground ball to shortstop.
Good inning.
Ozzie throws him out. Bobby Thigpen gets out of it. No runs, no hits. They leave a runner. And going into the bottom of the 8th inning, the Sox need 4.
6-2 Pittsburgh, bottom of the 8th inning. And our Budweiser player of the game this evening, none other than Lance Johnson. Made a couple of good plays in center field. 2 for 3, a bunt single, a triple, an RBI, and a run scored. There's a nice catch made by Lance. Our Budweiser player of the game. Pitching change for the Pirates, Wimpy. 39-year-old veteran southpaw John Candelaria.
Guess what? Ozzie's not hitting. Ozzie Guillen's supposed to be the first hitter to face the Candy Man, but he is a sidewinder. As you can see, 7.20 earned run average in 9 ball games. 6'7", and he deals from first base. Watch it.
First pitch fastball, high chopper. John is there. 1 pitch, 1 out. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Pirates. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Sox. Pirates have run some good talent out on that hill tonight. Boy, Paul Wagner, if you joined us late, the starter, really impressive. 3 innings, no hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and just had total command. Here's Craig Graybeck. Craig hitting it .282 on the spring. Fastball ripped into left field.
Wow.
2 pitches, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. The little man, best fastball hitter on this team.
Oh, man, he turned on that one. Let's take a look at our between the lines that the 2 ball clubs will have to look at in the next 10 days. The White Sox, check out that defense. 40 errors already on the spring. The Sox need to quiet that. Pittsburgh filling in the new faces on that ball club. Find some guys that can play, and it looks like they've got some youngsters. Dave Steve has got to keep improving. He had a little bit of a setback tonight, but as long as he's not hurting, he'll be all right.
Look at the numbers on Michael Huff.
Yes.
29 at bats, 448. Brilliant defense. Making a strong effort for that 5th outfielder spot. Sox might have to go, as that pitch popped up, with 6 outfielders starting off the season. Orlando Merced, 4 pitches, 3 outs, very quick for Candelaria. After 8, 6-2 Buccos. James A. Angio. Our graphics coordinator is Ron Stordo. Greg Bowman, the coordinating producer, and our executive producer, none other than John Toohey. That's the story here in the top of the 9th inning. Pirates with 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. They lead it 6-2 and Wimpy a pitching change.
Scott Radinsky comes to work for the White Sox here in the 9th inning. Rad is 0-0 with a 3.60 earned run average in 6 games appeared in. Giving up 11 hits in 10 innings, 3 walks, same number of strikeouts. So Rad getting his inning in. Bobby Thigpen walked 1, didn't give up any runs in the 8th inning, so that's a good sign. Ah, yes.
Jack Gould and Nancy.
That's his daughter Nancy.
Yes, it is. Jack, vice president of the White Sox, as the first pitch. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. The old backdoor trick to catcher Tom Prince. Prince 1 for 3 tonight, an RBI double. But he was robbed of a base hit on a beautiful play by Lance Johnson. He swung the bat well out in front of that curve ball. And quickly the count 0-2. Once again, a reminder, our next game coming your way on Sports Channel indeed will be Monday, 6 p.m. Chicago time, against the Minnesota Twins. A ball and 2 strikes to Prince, as we mentioned earlier, out of Kankakee, Illinois. Off the end of the bat, Big Frank off him. Graybeck is there, sucks it up over to Radinsky in time. It'll be 3-4-1 if you're scoring.
And the tail end of this plate, good thing Graybeck never gave up. Neither did Radinsky. Good job by Scott covering first base. Frank got down on 2 knees to block it. And there you see the good hustle by both Graybeck and Radinsky. So 1 up, 1 down here in the 9th.
And a pinch hitter for Al Martin. It'll be John Wehner. Wehner, 25 years old. Born in Pittsburgh, resides there. 6'3", 205 pounds. Just missed the outside corner with a hook. That fastball hit hard right back through the middle. So the Pirates pick up their 12th base hit. And here's the shortstop, Jay Bell. He's 1 for 4. But he has swung the bat well. Jay out of Valrica, Florida. Nice block by Matt Marullo on the curveball. Well, he's just 27 years old. Seems like he's been around a lot longer than that, doesn't
Yeah. Well, he came up in the Cleveland organization. Didn't get a chance to play at all when they were in need of a shortstop. And I don't think... Well, they traded him for Fermin, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that was the deal. I'm sure Pittsburgh is very happy with that one.
There's a sinker strike. That was back in '89.
Well, he has become a fine defensive and offensive player for Pittsburgh. So there's a good trade that has really helped them. He's been an integral part in those 3 consecutive National League East championships.
A ball and 2 strikes. Well, let's just look it up here. Last 3 years, the Pirates have won that divisional title. Jay Bell hit .254 in 159 games, 7 homers, knocked in 52.
Yep.
91, .270, 16 homers, 67 RBIs. There's a ball off the fist. Robin Ventura, what a nice pickup and throw to Graybeck. They force Wainer, and there's 2 gone. Good play.
Sure was, because Joey Cora was not going to make this play. He was shading him towards second in double play position. As you can see, a solid throw to second base, and Graybeck's thinking about turning 2 right here. Notice this little guy hang in there at second base, and a hard slide there by Wainer.
Switch hitting right fielder Orlando Merced, 3 for 4 tonight with a ribby. Takes the strike. And then Jay Bell last year, .264, 9 homers, 55 knocked in, and very steady defensively.
Oh boy.
0-2 the count.
He's a great
sacrifice. That was a good trade.
Yeah. Great sacrifice bunter too. He's always among the league leaders in that category. And that artificial surface that they play on is not that easy to do. Deaden that ball.
Ball and 2 strikes. Rad tried to break that one off, make him fish a little bit. Different looking bullpen, as we mentioned, when you have 2 left-handers. Well, the breaking pitch misses, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. You know, the problem Gene Lamont's going to have is not so much who, but how many he's going to take north this year, as far as how many outfielders, how many catchers, how many pitchers. Who has probably already been decided. It's just how many.
That's for sure. Boy, he's got a tough job ahead of him. My goodness, strength in numbers, but that makes that decision that much tougher.
Pops him up, right center field. Ellis Burks makes the catch. That'll retire the side. Nothing across. There was a hit, no errors, 1 man left. They'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Sox in trouble. They trail it 6-2.
Sidewinding right-hander comes out to work for Pittsburgh. 7 games, no record, .225 earned run average, and if you're right-handed, you do not want to hit off this guy. 8 strikeouts in 8 innings, a couple of saves, 6 hits, and just 2 walks. But he's a good one. 26 years old, from Huntington, Pennsylvania, 6'3", 187. And last year with the Pirates was 6-4 with a .315 earned run average. So he's done a nice job for these folks.
All right, here we go. Sox got to pick up some tallies. It'll be Thomas, Pasqua, and Ventura. Outfield, straight up, spread out. 1-0 the count. Big Frank tonight struck out, walked, and has a sacrifice fly. Here's a check swing strike, and the count evens at 1. And a reminder, the only official fan club of the Sox is a Coca-Cola Silver and Black Pack. Membership is open for kids up to 16 years of age and includes 3 pairs of coupons good for Sox tickets. Also a membership certificate and card. That breaking pitch foul away. You also get new White Sox stickers, a Waldo the White Sox Wolf pin, and a subscription to the club newsletter. Membership is only $15, Wimpy.
Incredible.
I know it.
What
Tickets
a deal.
alone are worth $48. And you can sign up today at Sport Mart, the official outlet of the Silver and Black Pack.
Got to do it.
That's a good deal.
Ow.
Runs a fastball in on the fist. Look at that.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, Ted Williams, Big Frank right there with on-base percentages.
Just how good a hitter was Shoeless, Wimpy?
He was good. He wasn't as good as you.
Boy, what a good movie that was. Field of Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Love that movie.
Was Ted Williams in that one too? he could get on base a little bit. Whoa.
Good pitch by Valenda, jammed him. That'll be out of play.
I'll tell you what, this Valenda looks frightening from the right side of the plate. I've seen him pitch quite a few times on television. And
I'd rather hit at him than Harvey.
Who? Oh,
Brian Harvey.
Brian Harvey? No, he's out of the league.
They wear the hats the same way. Big old hooks on them. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He looks a lot like him. Brian Harvey now with the Florida Marlins in the National League. Look out. Ooh. Yeah, there's that hat. God. It's a bat. Looks like Ron Howard, doesn't he, with that hat?
He does.
What if they call him Opie?
Breaking ball outside, full count to the Big Hurt. Frank looked like he was looking for the local right there.
It sure did.
Caught the express, wet fouled it away.
Well, in this day and age, you never know what you're going to get up there. Back in, 20, 30 years ago, if it was 2-0, 3-1, 3-2, pretty much fastball. And it doesn't matter what the score is either. There's ball 4.
So Frank, as he does so often, fights off several tough pitches and draws a base on balls. That's the difference that you've talked about so often, Wimpy. Those good hitters just foul those tough pitches off and either get a good pitch to hit and hit it hard or walk.
It's amazing.
Me, I'm out of there. I'll grab some
Oh,
pitch.
me too, yeah.
Here's Pasqua. Takes a strike. Danny 0 for 2 tonight.
No, and that's why Frank hits 320
That's right.
every year, too. Because he's going to get his share. When he gets a hanger or something he likes, he's going to smoke it.
Well, it's just numbers. Everything you can equate to numbers, and certainly hitting you can equate to numbers, and by that I mean pitches. The more pitches you see, the better hitter you're going to be.
And Frank Thomas sees as many pitches
He
as
sees more
anybody.
than anybody in our league. I don't know
Yeah.
about the National League.
Yeah.
I don't follow it, but he absolutely sees more pitches than anybody in the American League.
That's amazing, too, when you consider his size and his strike zone.
One-two pitch to Danny. Rip foul.
Boy.
I like to see that from Danny, though. Get out there and get the hit out and hook a few.
Yeah. Oh, because he's got such awesome power. He gets the head out in front of home plate. He's going to hit it out of the ballpark.
Pops this pitch up. Well, he makes a catch, and there's one gone. You know, you get a lot of guys who go up there, they only see 2 or 3 pitches in that bat.
Number 23, Robert
primarily first ball hitters. They're not going to hit as much for average as a guy who goes up there and sees 5 or 6. You don't take those guys deep into the count. Most time first ball hitters 0-1, 1-1, 1-2 as Robin steps in. And Frank, so often, as all Sox fans know, he's 2-0, 3-1, 3-2.
Yeah. And when he does, as you mentioned, get down to the count 0-2 or 1-2, he does able to fight off a couple pitches. He still makes a quality at bat out of nothing a lot of times.
Kevin Young, Jay Bell tags the bag. Thomas is forced, and there's 2 gone.
Young with quick feet right there. So that's a great adjustment by the shortstop Bell. That Bell turning himself into a first baseman, making sure of the 1 out, not trying to make something that he can't do, and that is to try and turn the double play.
Ellis Burks takes a breaking pitch outside. Ellis, 1 for 3 tonight, was robbed of a base hit on a beautiful play by Al Martin back in the 7th inning. Ellis also has made a couple of good defensive plays throughout. Al Martin trying to stretch that single into a double back in the 5th. A slider strike. Just 28 years old. Barring any future health problems, Ellis Burks, a lot of good baseball in front of him. Good pitch by Belinda. Pulled a string on him, had him out in front.
Sox down to the last bullet right now, and Belinda, I don't know if that was a split finger or whatever. It looked like it went straight down. I believe that was a splitter, looking at the replay in slow motion. Ooh.
Took a lot off of it. That's the reason that good movement. There was a Brian Harvey type pitch, only about 20 miles an hour softer. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And just in case, there's Bo. Got him on a breaking pitch. So Stan Belinda, the 5th Pirate pitcher of the evening, comes in, gives up a leadoff walk, retires Pasqua. Ventura and Burks, final score. Pirates win it 6-2. Right now, let's go back to our studio.